So in the mid-90s, basically, social media is treated differently than, say, newspapers or magazines. Whereas newspapers and magazines are held responsible for what's on their sites or in their pages, social media has kind of been saying, hey, hands off, whatever the user posts, they post. And that's what the president is getting after, correct?
Right. It's a little bit different, right? So there's so much information that's being posted by users. And so you think any type of user generated information that could be posted. So you think reviews on Amazon, if you're a small business that has a blog, if you've got comments that your readers are leaving. So you think not just big social media sites or YouTube and videos, but you think even small businesses, reviews, things that we rely on every single day. That's what's protected by Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. And that is what we are really calling into question here. That section is what protects websites from being considered the speakers or the publishers of those comments.
Hmm.
So while we can agree that there is, content that should never be published, it shouldn't be online, there's that kind of gray area of what we sometimes would, maybe like to see or not see published. And so that's what we're talking about. What is actually protected under that section?
Unfortunately, we have a very short time left, so I want to hit a couple of things really quickly. So the president is
Sure.
basically saying, it looks like Twitter, you are kind of editing tweets. You're editing my tweets. So if you're going to be an editor, we're going to treat you like a newspaper. Is that kind of what we're looking at?
So I think he is saying that he is sort of crying foul in terms of censorship. And, by definition, censorship is really suppression. And so I think it's going to be important for us to really open up that dialogue about the difference between censorship and fact checking. And I think really what he's looking for is, what is sort of this fair application of, these tags that say, hey, this information is false or this information is glorifying violence. And certainly, I think, the executive order is very interesting. I don't think there's a lot of teeth to it. I think he's expressing his displeasure. Congress is the only one that can revoke or make changes to Section 230. But it does beg the question, and I don't think it's a bad thing. Social media is really in its infancy compared to other forms of media. And it's an important question for us to start talking about.
Right. And it seems like if they have standards, if they apply those standards to everybody and everything, regardless of political party or how they may, the executive office tower feels, then they'd be on much safer ground.
Yes and no. I think we start to get into a lot of hot water there, right? You're going to see a lot of tags, right? So I think it'll be interesting to kind of see what happens. I mean, this is where it's going to get very difficult to start to define what's objectionable, what glorifies violence, what is correct and factual. And I think it points really to a bigger problem, right? If we lived in a society where we emphasized more critical thinking skills and checking our own facts and looking for inconsistencies or, multiple sources for information, maybe we wouldn't have to rely so heavily on social media to do that job for us. So
Personal
hopefully we'll move in that
responsibility. That's right.
direction.
Don't believe what you read on social media. Go check it out for yourself. Jennifer, it's so great talking with you this morning. Thank you for
Thanks
being
for
on. I
having
appreciate
me.
it. Yeah, we'll have you
Take
back.
care.